Hey, you guys stop that for just a second, okay? Kicking this off. All right, gang, so coming to you with our first pre-recorded YouTube class. For our workout today, we have some hinging and core work for our strength. So we want to get our hamstrings and hips nice and loose during that warm-up. Also, we want to start learning how to brace that back and core. So that'll be our focus for the warm-up today, moving into the strength. And then for our conditioning today, we've got some hinging and some more core work, so we don't need to go heavy on these because we're going heavy up here. We're going to condition down here, and then some more stability work on that last movement. So for our warm-up today, we're going to start off on the ground, working on those hips and hamstrings. Yeah, let's go ahead and move that out of the way. Let's go ahead and plant one foot on the ground, pull your other toe into your shin. Let's start with some straight leg kicks. Try to keep that knee perfectly straight. Let's go for another 10 seconds on this side. Keep your core turned on as well so that your low back stays on the ground. 2, 1, switch sides, same thing. Pull your toe into your shin. Reach long with your heel. That'll make you feel it down the back of your leg. Keep that core braced so your low back stays on the ground. 3, 2, 1, and relax. From here, to work on some core bracing and get our core talking to our limbs, we're going to press our fists and knees towards the ceiling, extend opposite hand, opposite leg, come back to the center, and then extend the other side. So you're trying to keep the stationary limbs completely frozen, trying to keep low back on the ground as you extend. So on that, you may shorten that extension a bit if you feel low back. To pause at the top for a moment each time gives me a chance to 3, 2, 1. Relax on those. Let's plant both heels on the ground, toes in the air. Drive the hips up high. Really squeeze your butt here at the top. When you come down, don't let your butt touch the ground, and then fire back up. That way you're staying under tension the whole time. We're going to continue with these for another 20 seconds. Activating those glutes. Once again, bracing our core, so don't let your spine flexor extend. The only thing moving right here is the hip and knee. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. We're going to go to a single leg version of that. So grab the back just behind the back of the opposite leg, just behind the knee. Drive to the ceiling with the foot that's down or with the leg that's down. Hold that top position for just a moment. Help that hold on that knee. Keep your pelvis neutral. So pull in on that knee a little bit. That'll also help you get extended a bit more. 3, 2, 1, switch sides, same thing. Driving through the heel, that leg, keeping that belly turned on. Pull on the back of that leg a bit that you're holding on to just to keep that pelvis locked in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Not a lot of shoulders today, but I do want to work on our T-spine just a bit. So we're going to come over onto our side, pull those knees up above our hips. Arms long. Push your knees through the ground as you open up that shoulder and pull that shoulder blade towards the ground. Let's continue on this side for another 10 seconds. Really think about pressing your knees into the ground as you open up that palm. Let's flip over to the other side. What's that, buddy? Here in just a second, buddy. Same thing, keep those knees above the hips. Push your knees through. as you open up those shoulders. 10 seconds on this side. 3, 2, 1, and relax. From here, let's come up to hands and knees. Working on bracing that spine while opening up the hips. Let's get into that rocking. So spread those fingertips wide. Hands are directly beneath the shoulders. Curl your toes underneath so that that foot flexes a bit as you rock back.
Just slowly let it come down to that sandbag.
Always good to work on those wrists some as well. So let's turn those fingertips out to the side now. Rock to one side, rock to the other. Keep the heel of the hand on the ground. Push as much pressure into that hand as you can manage. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fingertips back towards the knees. Let's go some wrist circles now. You can go full circles or you can go half circles. If you're going half, just keep side to side. If you're going full, go ahead and switch directions. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Fingertips back forward. Let's stick that left leg straight out to the side. Back into our rocking motion. Try to keep your hips square towards the ground. Keep that low back flat. Let's continue on this side for another 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch sides. Same thing. Try to keep this extended leg, foot flat on the ground, toes straight forward. Good job, Mav. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back to the middle. Let's put our hands directly beneath our shoulders, knees beneath our hips. Start to flow through some cat-cows. So just getting every vertebrae to move through extension and flexion. Breathe in as you look for the sky. Breathe out as you tuck your tail and look towards your belly button. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. From there, let's come up to the top of our push-up. Let's push down into a down dog. Drive your heels down, push your hips high, and then let's alternate legs. So bend one knee while you drive the other heel through the ground, and then bend the other knee while you drive the other heel through the ground. Hold for about 3 seconds each time. Use each shift to let that chest come forward, and then drive that chest back through. Let's continue these for another 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. From there, let's walk our hands back to our toes. Once we're standing, let's get into some floor sweeps. Pull your toe towards your nose. Push your hips back. One heel comes forward. That leg goes straight. Reach deeper. Hips go back farther every time. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. From here, make sure you've got enough room to step forward to the side and behind. We're going to step into a forward lunge, lateral lunge, then reverse lunge. Stay on the same side. Try to sink a little bit deeper on that lateral lunge each time. Let that forward leg be the one that does most of the work. So when you step back, let this leg do the work when you stand. Let's go ahead and switch sides. Same thing, forward. Just switch my spot. Lateral, then reverse. Look out. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's wrap up our warm-up. We're going to get into our sumo position. Turn those toes out. Make sure you're driving your knees out nice and wide. Soft bend in the knees. Push those hips back. Keep that back flat. Feel that stretch in your hamstrings. Squeeze your glutes as you stand. From there, same stance, drop the hips straight down. Continue to push out on those knees, prepping us for those sumo deadlifts later. 3, 2, and 1. Step into shoulder width. Same thing, let's hit some good mornings. Proud chest in the front. Into some squats. Take your time. Make sure you've got a good squat stance. Same thing, sending those hips back. Keep tension in the bottom. Keep that whole foot on the ground. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I do want to do a little bit more balance before we get into this hinging. So I want you guys to come up on one leg into hip flexion. Hold that for 3. And then I want you to shift back into a single leg RDL. Hold for 3. Back to your hip flexion. Hold for 3. So legs stay stiff in hip flexion. And then when you reach back with that heel, soft bend in that base knee. Let's get through this one more time. Back to hip flexion. And then back to RDL. Let's go ahead and switch sides. Same thing. 3-second hold at the top, or flexion. And then 3-second hold in that RDL. Try to keep your belly button centered over this front toe. Get tall every time you come back to that flexion. Reach long with that heel on that RDL. Let's go one more here. Second hold. And, oh, I lost it. Lost it again. 2, 1, and relax. All right, gang. From here, we're going to go ahead and get into our strength work for today. So just as a reminder, we've got 4 rounds. We've got 3 minutes to get through every round. We'll be doing 5 tempo Romanian deadlift, 3 seconds down on those RDL. You'll go right into 8 deadlifts, so a little more knee bend on the deadlift, and then we'll get into those hollow rocks, and we'll warm these up a bit more before we kick off that strength. For your RDL and your deadlift today, you can use an odd object. If you're using that odd object, I would suggest grabbing it closer to the bottom, and that's going to allow you to get a little more range on your RDL as well as your deadlift. You might have to open up your stance a little bit before you get into that deadlift, just so that object has room to clear the feet. You can also use a kettlebell or a dumbbell. On kettlebell, neutral grip right in the center. Same almost straight leg RDL, and then you'll go into deadlifts. And if you're using that dumbbell, if you want more range, you can grab the heads on the side. And if you want a little bit less range, if the dumbbell's hard to hold on to, then we can hold on just the top head of the dumbbell, still execute the RDL, and then still hit that deadlift. And Renee's demoing with the barbell. Same thing holds true. You don't have to touch the ground with your plates on the RDL, but we do want you to touch the ground with your plates when you're executing those deadlifts. We're going to do 3 reps together, 3 seconds down on that Romanian deadlift, and then we'll do 5 more reps of our standard deadlift. So let's go ahead and grab whatever object you plan to use. Hip width stance, toes straight forward, pin those shoulders back, soft bend in the knees, and first rep, 3, 2, 1, and down, 2, 3, send those hips back. Make sure you're looking at the ground in the bottom, and stand. Let's hold that bottom position again on this one, and down, 2, 3, only go as deep as you can while keeping that soft bend in the knee, no extra knee bend. Squeeze your butt to stand. Let's do one more. Down, 2, 3, and up. Into our deadlifts from here. Hips still go back. Once your fists get below your knees, bend at the knee to get to the ground, and then stand. Keep those shins vertical throughout that deadlift. Full foot stays on the ground. Weight evenly distributed through the ball of your foot all the way back to your heel. Once you've hit 5 deadlifts, go ahead and relax on those. Get into our hollow body work now. We've got 15 hollow rocks, and we've got several versions of scaling on those hollow rocks for you. Renee, what are you going to be doing for hollow rocks today?
I'll do the marching glute bridge.
So Renee is going to demo what we would have a lot of postpartum moms do. And then Renee had some issues after our last baby with some diastasis in her core. So that's why she'll be executing these glute bridge marches today. So come up to full extension on your glute bridge. Make sure your belly is braced. You're going to lift one foot up and lightly tap the heel out in front, and then lift the other foot up, lightly tap the heel. Just be sure you're not letting those hips drop throughout. Since that is a unilateral movement, we'll have you guys do 16 of those instead of 15 hollow rocks. If you're doing hollow rocks with us today, the foundation of that is going to be that bent knee hollow hold or hollow rock. So I'm going to have everybody do is bring those heels up even with your knees. Put your knees and feet together. Point your toes. Hands come about an inch off the ground. And then I want you to reach forward and hold for 10 seconds. Let's go in 3, 2, 1, and begin. We're going to hold here for 10, making sure your low back is pressed onto the ground. 2, 1, and relax. Next, we're going to extend that lever length. So we're just going to put one leg out while keeping the other knee bent. Keep those toes pointed. That just helps keep the legs braced. 10-second hold. We'll go 5 seconds per side. If you're struggling with that leg extended, if your low back comes off the ground, then come back to both knees bent, because keeping the low back on the ground is the primary purpose of this movement. Let's start in 3, 2, 1, and begin. One leg extended, or you can have them both bent. Let's go ahead and switch. Other leg extended, reaching forward with those hands. Low back stays on the ground. 2, 1, and relax. From here, our next one is going to be one leg extended and then arms overhead, which just gives you a lever up top, making it harder to hold that core position. Same thing, stick with the version that you know you can keep that good hard contact with the low back. Starting with whatever version we're comfortable with in 3, 2, 1, and begin. Hold this side for 5. Now let's switch. Hold the other side for 5, 2, 1, and relax. And then lastly, if you have the ability, you can extend both legs and both arms. Same thing, low back needs to stay in contact with the ground. Practicing one more, 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and begin. If you can't keep that low back on the ground, go back to one of those prior versions. 3, 2, 1, and relax. So those are holds. We're going to be doing rocks in our rounds today. Pick the version that you can hold comfortably, and that's where I want you to test out our rocks now. If you're struggling with that version, then regress back down one step and try the rocks there. Let's practice 10 seconds of rocks, whatever version that you know you can own. Starting in 3, 2, 1, and begin. Squeeze your butt, squeeze your belly, keep your ribs locked down. Small rocks here. 2, 1, and relax. And that's going to be our hollow body rocks for today. If, as far as load goes, on our deadlifts today, if you have a barbell and you're going to try to increase load, this is going to be heavier than what we did last week. If you haven't done these with us in the past, then I want you to pick a load that when you get to that 8th deadlift today, you've got 3, 4 left in the tank. So moderately difficult, but don't go so super heavy that you're burning out on that last rep or 2. If you're going to add weight to your barbell, take the next minute or so to do that. Otherwise, I want you to practice a couple more reps of 3 seconds down on those RDLs, keeping that core braced, back flat, and then also practice 3 more deadlifts No tempo on those, but let's stay slow and controlled. Be sure you're not feeling that in your low back. You should feel that in your glutes and your hamstrings. So only go as deep as you can while maintaining that neutral spine. If you start to round out at all, that's your cue to come up a little bit higher on that motion. Take the next 30 seconds to a minute to do final plate additions. Practice a few reps if you're going to add load. And then we'll kick off our first round. We've got 3 minutes to get through 5 tempo deadlifts, right into 8 deadlifts, and then 15 hollow body rocks. You'll rest for the remaining of the 3, and then we'll kick off that following round. All right, Mav, we're ready to roll. You like it, Mama? It's okay, I'll start in a second, buddy. All right, guys, getting ready to start our first set. We've got 5 tempo Romanian deadlifts, 3 second negative. Don't touch yet. Because Daddy's going to kick it off. And then we've got 8 deadlifts right after that. Then you'll come down to the ground for 15 hollow body rocks.
How many did you tell me
16. Yeah. All right, gang. Starting our first round. If you guys want to work with me, I'll get over to my object and pick it up here in just a second. 3, 2, 1. First round. If you want to stay on tempo, let's go ahead and grab that object. First rep. 3, 2, 1, and down. 2, 3, up. 1, down. 2, 3, 2, down. 2, 3, 3, down. 2, 3, up. 4, down. 2, 3, up. 5, 8 deadlifts. Knees bend a little bit more in that deadlift. Oh, I think that watermelon was a good pre-workout, buddy. All right, guys, let's go ahead and find our hollow body position. If you're going to be doing those glute bridge marches with Renee, in that position, as soon as you're ready, kick those off. 3, 2, 1, 15 hollow rocks. Remember, if you need to, scale down to one of those previous versions. Smooth rocks. After you're done with those, rest for the remainder of the 3. We've got about 1:30 left. Right? Stand tall, walk around, big deep breath in through your nose. Either out, blowing through a straw, or you can breathe out through your nose as well. Starting with our 5 tempo Romanian deadlifts. Got about 35 seconds. This 80-pound dumbbell is kind of hard to hold on to. Said this 80-pound dumbbell. All right, guys, 15 seconds. We're going to start that next set. Really try to feel it in your hamstrings. Squeeze those same muscles that you feel stretch out on your way up. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's bring that object up. First rep, 3, 2, 1, and down, 2, 3, up, 1, down, 2, 3, up, 2, down, 2, 3, up, 3, down, 2, 3, up, 4, down, 2, 3, up, 5, 8 more deadlifts. Good work, gang. Round 2 out of the way for deadlifts. Moving into hollow rocks. We got what? All right, as soon as you're ready to start those hollow rocks, 3, 2, 1, and begin. You're going with that full legs extended, arms extended version, or even one of those bent knee versions. Think about reaching with your toes and your fingertips as far as you can. You want to build that long tension before you lock down through those ribs. All right, guys, minute 10, and then we'll kick off set number 3. Same thing, we want to get as much oxygen back in our system during these rest periods. Try to get our heart rate back down as much as we can. You check that phone. So try to breathe in through your nose and either breathe out through the straw or breathe out through the nose. All right, gang, 30 seconds. Next set, Romanian deadlifts into standard deadlift.
Should I reverse on Romanian?
Yeah, you can go, if you're using barbell, you can go any grip that you want on these. So you can do reverse, overhand. You can hook it if you want to. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and begin. Standing tall, first rep, 3, 2, 1, and down, 2, 3, up, 1, down, 2, 3, up, 2, down, 2, 3, up, 3, down, 2, 3, up, 4, down, 2, 3, up, 5, 8 more deadlifts, knees stay back. Good work, gang. Take a 15-20 second break. Get set up for your hollow rocks. Round number 3 of hollow rocks. 3, 2, 1, and begin. On those hollow rocks, remember, reach long. To rock forward, think about reaching forward with your toes. To rock backwards, think about reaching long with your arms. And when you're using core tension to create the rock, not swinging your legs, not swinging your arms. This is all about being able to hold a stable position while we move. When we move those legs and those arms, we start to lose some stability. All right, gang, minute 10, and we'll kick off that last set. Let's get heated in the Belcher garage. This is workout number 2 for us today. We did Murph this morning. Feeling those power cleans.
I measured how this tractor mows with the mower on the back of it.
All right, gang, 30 seconds. One more round, 5 tempo RDL, 8 deadlift, and then 15 hollow body rocks. Really try to feel those hamstrings load up and then squeezing through those hamstrings as you stand. Keep that belly turned on so that we protect that spine. Back stays flat. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand that object up. First rep, 3, 2, 1, and down. 2, 3, up, 1, down. 2, 3, up, 2, down, 2, 3, up, 4, down, 2, 3, up, 5, 8 deadlifts. Eyes on the ground in the bottom. Good job, Renee.
What?
All right, gang. One more round, hollow rocks. And that'll be it for our strength work today. Let's find our position on the ground. Squeeze your butt. Pull your ribs down. What's your treat going to be?
I don't know.
Here we go, gang. 3, 2, 1, and begin. Keep your rocks small. After that, let those abs relax. Take a few deep breaths. And then we'll start getting ready for our conditioning portion of today. So we just did our strength work with hinge and core patterns. We have those same patterns in the Metcon, but we're going to be with different stances, different movements. So hitting some different muscles there, training those patterns in a different way. Also, you do not need to go heavy, especially if you did Murph with us yesterday. You're going to be fatigued from that. So the idea here is to pick a load that's going to allow you to move for the duration of the minute. So just a reminder before we warm up for this, our Metcon for today, 12-minute EMOM, so you'll go through this 3 times. Sumo deadlifts that first minute, alternating V-ups. We can scale those to tuck-ups or dead bugs. Renee will have us a scale as well for the second minute, and then suitcase hold for minute number 3. If you don't have a dumbbell or a kettlebell, you can use that at-home object. You can even use a plate if you're someone who has only a barbell and plates. So, getting ready for that sumo deadlift. If you're using barbell, go ahead and strip back down to an empty bar, or at least near an empty bar. And if you're using another object, let's go ahead and find that object and we'll start practicing these. So for sumo stance, easiest way is to start about shoulder width, slide each foot out 3 to 4 inches. Your toes are going to be pointed out just slightly. As you approach that object, I want you to make sure that you can push those knees wide enough to where your shins are vertical side to side, so no inward tilt. And then also, we're keeping those hips back enough where that shin doesn't come forward. We want that vertical side to side and front to back, but we do want to be wider in our traditional sumo stance. So line shoulder width, bring each foot out a few inches, turn those toes out slightly, have that weighted object just beneath, right between the arches of your feet. Hips go back, knees go wide. Let's hold our setup position for a few seconds. Pull those shoulders down and back. Eyes are looking at the ground. Belly braced, back flat. Push your whole foot through the ground to stand. Squeeze your butt at the top. Make sure we're not leaning back. And then send those hips back. Once your hands get to about your knees, bend at the knees to get down to the ground. Squeeze your butt to stand. Let's go ahead and practice 5 more of those. Driving knees wide. This is something that gives you hip pain or knee pain. You can come into a conventional stance deadlift, or you could even go into a single leg deadlift and just switch at the 30-second mark. Once you've done 5 there, if you need to add load to your barbell, actually wait on that. We'll go ahead and we'll get ready for alternating V-ups next. On that alternating V-up today, this is actually a really tough movement because when you set up, you got to be right back in that long hollow position. So if you don't have this position, you should think about scaling to one of these versions that we're going to talk about in a moment. On that alternating V-up, opposite hand comes up, touches opposite toe. I'm keeping those knees straight. If I have to bend that knee, I'm going to be better served doing an alternating tuck up. Still a hard position on the start, but an easier position on the finish. If you're struggling to keep those feet and hands off the ground or low back is coming off the ground, then what I want you to do is go into a dead bug instead. That's what teaches us to brace that core and have a neutral spine while opposing limbs are moving. Whichever version that you want to do in the workout today, let's go ahead and practice 8 reps. Pick the version that's going to keep you moving throughout most of the minute. So if you can only do alternating V-ups for 10 seconds, probably scale back to that alternating tuck up. Last movement today, we have our suitcase hold. On those, I'll just have you guys switch hands at that 30-second mark. Whatever object you're holding, big things we're looking for here, hip width stance, toes straight forward, drive the whole foot through the ground, make a good posture so we're not arching our back, belly's braced so our ribs are pulled down right over top of our hips, pulling the top of our head towards the ceiling, and then last thing, try to keep that object off your side. That's what really forces us to start using those core muscles. If you lay it on you, you can relax more. Whatever object you plan to use for those suitcase holds, let's go ahead and bring that up in our right hand. And we're going to practice a 10-second hold on each side. Starting side number 1, good posture. 3, 2, 1, and begin. Try to hold that object off your side. Try not to lean to either side. 2, 1, switch sides. 2, 1, and begin. Pull the crown of your head to the sky. Push both feet through the ground. Keep that object off your leg. 2, 1, and rest. Nice suitcase deadlift to set that down. From here, if you need to add some weight to your barbell for your sumo deadlift, go ahead and do so. And then we're going to kick off a transition round. We'll go 15 seconds sumo deadlift. We'll take a 10-second break, 15-second alternating V-up, 10-second break, and then we'll do another 10 seconds on each side of our suitcase hold. This will help get our heart rate up and get us prepared for the workout. So let's find the object we plan to use for sumo deadlifts. Find that sumo stance, starting 15 seconds together in 3, 2, 1, and begin. Three, 2, 1, relax. 10 seconds to transition. Alternating V-ups, tuck-ups, dead bugs. And then Renee, what are you doing here? And then Renee's going to be doing bird dogs. In 3, 2, 1, and begin. 15 seconds. Two, one, relax, stand it back up. Find your object for suitcase holds. Side, 3, 2, 1, and up. Hold that object off your legs, stay tall. 2, 1, switch sides, right into it. Pull the crown of your head towards the sky. Push your feet through the ground, squeeze your belly, squeeze your butt, and relax. All right, that's the order we'll flow in the workout. On minute number 4, you'll get to rest. So same thing with our breathing. I want you guys to try to get into at least breathing in through the nose. If you can do in and out through the nose, great. Take the next couple minutes, use the restroom, grab yourself a drink, do any final weight prep that you need, and then we'll break this workout down and we'll kick things off. Can you get a shot of that water? Also, gang, this is our first time using a wireless mic today. I'm going to leave it hooked up during the workout just to see how much it picks up breath. And based off what we hear tonight, then we may lose the mic when we get into the workouts moving forward. So don't get too annoyed at my breathing.
I should probably put it on now.
All right, gang, so breaking this workout down. On that sumo deadlift, let's not go too heavy. Pick a load that you can move throughout most of the minute. On your alternating V-ups, remember we can do alternating tuck-ups or deb bugs there. Same thing, what can keep you moving throughout most of the minute unbroken? On those first 2 movements, I will cut you guys off around that 50-second mark just to give you time to transition into that next movement. Once we get to those suitcase deadlifts, or suitcase holds, we will work the whole minute. So we'll go 30 seconds on one side and then 30 seconds on the other side. On that one, think about posture, and then also think about breathing in for as many seconds as you can, breathing out for as many seconds as you can. If you can split that 30-second hold up into 4 or 5 slow breaths, it starts to go by, or starts to feel like it's going by a lot quicker. Pacing and intensity, form first, stay light, especially if you did Murph with us yesterday. Move for the full minute for those first 2. Your score today is going to be the total sum of your sumo deadlifts as well as those alternating V-ups, tuck-ups, or deb bugs, okay? So set a benchmark on that first trip through and then just try to get back to that same number every time. Then you can add those numbers up at the end. Let's go ahead and find our starting spot. We're going to kick this off here in about 30 seconds. Will you start just the timer on your phone? Or no, you can do the EMOM and just set it behind this computer. 12 minutes. That'll work, as long as we can see it. All right, gang, starting with sumo deadlifts. You tell me when.
12 sets.
Mm-hmm. Did you hang that wrench on there, Mav?
That's where I keep them.
7 seconds. 5,
4, 3, 2, 1, and begin. Minute 1, right into those sumos. Yep. Drive those knees wide. Straight spine from the top of your head all the way down to your tailbone. Don't lean back at the top. Stand straight up. Ten seconds. 3, 2, 1. Getting ready for alternating V-ups, tuck-ups, dead bugs, or bird dogs. 3, 2, 1, and begin. Keep that low back on the ground. If you need a break, take a few breaths and try to get back into it. We've got 10 seconds left. Let's go ahead and transition. Suitcase holds in 3, 2, 1, and begin. Stand tall. Push both feet evenly through the floor. Try to keep that object off your leg. Working the full minute here. Switching arms in 5 seconds. 2, 1, switch arms. Get to the other hand as quick as you can. Find that good posture again. Don't let that low back arch. Keep those ribs locked down. Almost there, guys. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. 1 minute rest. Big deep breath. Remember your numbers from last time. Try to hit that same number of sumo deadlifts and that same number of alternating V-ups. During those suitcase holds, use it as a time to check in with which muscles are working. If you feel one side's really overloaded, try to lock down with that other side a bit more. All right, round number 2. 5 seconds. 2, 1, and go. Vertical shins side to side and front to back. Feel that stretch in your hip. Don't rely only on the hip. Squeeze your butt to stand. Long line from the back of your neck all the way down to your tailbone. 15 seconds. Five, 2, 1. Ready for V-ups. 5, 2, 1, and begin. I'm sticking with those alternating tuck-ups. I lose position pretty quickly on those alternating V-ups. They have gotten a lot better though, because we've been working at them a lot. in class. "15 seconds, gang." Four, three, two, one, and transition. Getting ready for holds in 5, 3, 2, 1, and begin. Hip width on our stance, toes straight forward. Squeeze your belly, squeeze your butt. Trying to let your shoulders tilt. Keep everything square. Switch sides. Feel your middle expand as you breathe in. Almost there, gang. 10 seconds. And rest. Since we've got this wireless mic, I told Renee when she talks, she has to turn around and talk right here. All right, guys, last round coming up. It's getting sweaty in here. Who needs a sauna when you've got a small garage in southern Indiana? Yeah, I mean, you're getting a lot of the sauna is just like removing some of the other stresses that you would get from exercise. You get the same effect through it that you get through exercise. All right, gang, 10 seconds, last round coming up, starting with Sumo Deadlifts. In 3, 2, 1, and begin. Vertical shins. Drive out on those knees. Feel those hamstrings load up. This isn't a squat, it's a hinge. So those hips are going to stay above the knees in that bottom position. Almost there, gang. We got 15 seconds. 10. 3, 2, 1. Ready for V-ups. 3, 2, 1, and begin. If you're doing that tuck up, try to fold up in the middle as much as you can. "15 seconds, gang. Keep those feet off the ground. Keep those hands off the ground. Find hollow in the bottom. 3, 2, 1. Ready for suitcase. Last minute of work. 3, 2, 1, and begin. Stand tall. Keep that object off your leg. Don't lean. Stay braced. 10 seconds, then we'll switch. Don't let yourself lean. Straight up and down. 2, 1. Switch sides. Try to keep both feet pressed through the ground. This is it, gang. 10 seconds of work. Stay tall. Don't arch your back. Keep your ribs down. 3, 2, 1, and relax. All right, gang. Our last minute for the EMOM is rest. So stand tall, walk around. Big deep breath in through our nose, out through the straw. You can still do what? I can do it? I can keep going if I need to. Appreciate that, buddy. All right, gang. So don't forget, score. What was the total sum reps of your sumo deadlift and your alternating V-ups? We'll go ahead and wrap things up for today. Be sure to get those scores in Wodify. And as far as cooldown goes, just try to spend a couple minutes on the floor. Let's go back position today, palms facing up, and you'll just be breathing in through the nose, making that belly and low back and sides expand, and then breathing out through the straw. Do that for 90 seconds, 2 minutes, and then go to all nose for 90 seconds, 2 minutes in that same position. That'll help turn off that fight or flight response, down regulate the nervous system, kickstart that recovery.